Good day, I'm Samantha Allen and this is your Jis News for October 22. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller says her administration will be increasing its communication with the public on matters of governance. Coming out of a two-day cabinet retreat on October 18 and 19, the Prime Minister says individual ministers have been charged with engaging sector groups and communities about programs that will most directly impact them. The cabinet retreat was held primarily to discuss the ongoing IMF negotiations and individual ministries' ability to meet their budgetary commitments. Regarding the IMF negotiations, Mrs. Simpson Miller says the administration is working hard to conclude an agreement as soon as possible, indicating that progress is being made in that area. To further that progress, she says a program of work on several key areas will be implemented over the coming weeks. In the meantime, the cabinet ministers also discussed accelerating the land titling program and the implementation of major private sector investments in the hotel, ICT and agricultural sectors to increase employment by the end of the fiscal year. Steps towards dealing with loans for tertiary education, the G program and initiatives to build 50 basic schools and housing units for low-income families were also reviewed. Hundreds of low-income earners are to benefit from the government's latest initiative to provide housing solutions. Those earning a maximum of $7,500 per week can now apply to the National Housing Trust to own one of 600 units that will be built annually for the next 5 years. A supplemental agreement and agreement of cooperation for housing solutions signed on Friday signaled the commencement of this initiative.
We will be responding to the need for affordable housing solutions, and we will be addressing the inequitable situation whereby the low-income workers receive a disproportionately low percentage of benefits.
Each housing unit will cost nearly $860,000 to build. Beneficiaries need to be NHT contributors and can either have the units built on their own lands or property identified by the state. 50 such units will soon be built at Hamden in Trelawney. Food for the Poor is the contractor, while the National Housing Trust is funding the initiative with the support of the Ministry of Transport, Works and Housing. The Ministry of Health is urging the public to cooperate with health workers that are working in communities to end the outbreak of dengue fever. The healthcare workers are in the field distributing educational material on dengue as well as inspecting homes, businesses and other public spaces for mosquito breeding sites. Director of Emergency, Disaster Management and Special Services, Dr. Marion Bullock-DeCass, says these workers will be carrying proper identification and persons should ask to see their IDs before letting them onto their properties. Jamaica is currently experiencing an outbreak of dengue fever and has recorded 1,710 suspected cases up to October 13. Persons can get more information on dengue by calling the ministry's Emergency Operations Center at 1-888-1-LOVE. That's 1-888-663-5683, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. Government is working earnestly to structure sports as an industry that significantly contributes to the economy. Speaking recently with JIS TV News, Minister Natalie Nita Headley said developing sports beyond a recreational activity is the driving focus behind the crafting of the national sports policy.
That we expect to complete by end of year, and we're working very diligently to ensure that it covers as much as possible to ensure that even athletes and athletes' welfare, which we talk about all the time, is a part of that policy.
The Finance Ministry is also engaged in the process, as tax exemptions on sporting equipment will be outlined in the policy. Proceeds from the sale of the Jamaica 50 commemorative pins will go towards the renovation of the National Stadium. Independence Park Limited, operators of the facility, will also be retailing the pins at various stadium events to help raise approximately $20 million to upgrade bathroom and concession facilities at the bleachers section.
The last major renovation was in 2002, and a lot has happened since then in terms of what is required to host international events. So we find ourselves in a position where we need significant amount of funds to do a number of things.
Major Brown was speaking at a recent JIS think tank session. Persons are being urged to support the initiative by purchasing and wearing the pins as a symbol of nationalistic pride. And finally, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller is holding bilateral talks on a range of issues with her Canadian counterpart Stephen Harper. Mrs. Simpson Miller is in Canada on a 5-day official visit, during which she will discuss trade relations between the two countries, as well as the prospects for investment, tourism, and other developments. Over the next few days, she will be meeting with investors, Canadian business and civic leaders, as well as Jamaicans living in the North American country. The Prime Minister will return to the island on Friday, October 26. During her absence, Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips is in charge of the government. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Samantha Allen. Thanks for watching.